après une pause, on continue notre périple. The City. Et là, on va probablement re-rencontrer Catherine. Catherine. Dis donc de feu d'artifice. Oh, d'où venez-vous, jeune homme? Vous êtes si bien habillé. C'est vrai que par rapport à vous, venez acheter des feux d'artifice. En venant dans cette boutique, vous savez ce que vous faites. Vous venez acheter des feux d'artifice. Oui, je l'ai déjà dit, putain. Des feux d'artifice. Ah, eh bien, je ne suis plus le propriétaire des feux de Niga ou de Waps. Je me fais vieux et mes oreilles ne sont pas très bonnes, alors j'ai laissé le magasin à ma fille. Et même si je ne dirige pas plus le magasin, je n'ai jamais perdu mes compétences en matière de fabrication de feux d'artifice. Nos feux d'artifice sont de la plus haute qualité et tout Inazuma connaît le festival de feux d'artifice de Naganoa. J'ai fabriqué un feu d'artifice d'une variété et d'un style que l'on ne trouve nulle part ailleurs. Oui. Ah, ça y est, il a replanté. Non. Putain, il y a des lags. Hein. Combien de types de feux d'artifice existent-ils? Le feu d'artifice, c'est une bonne question qui remonte. C'est une histoire qui remonte à très longtemps. Les moyens de transport n'étaient pas vraiment pratiques, donc les gens qui n'étaient pas sur la même île ne pouvaient pas se contacter pendant longtemps. Soudain, un jour, les gens ont découvert l'utilisation du feu. En plus de tenir chaud, la fumée qu'il dégageait pouvait être vue de loin. Plus tard, les feux d'artifice ont été inventés. On dirait qu'il manque une partie au milieu de votre histoire. Les couleurs, les formes et les intervalles entre les feux d'artifice ont des significations différentes. C'est ainsi que les habitants d'Inazuma communiquaient entre eux à des endroits éloignés. La fabrication des feux d'artifice est très élaborée. En ajoutant des poudres de divers minerais, le feu d'artifice s'épanouira de différentes couleurs. Je peux fabriquer des feux d'artifice de toutes les couleurs que vous voulez, même en noir et blanc. J'ai l'impression que le patron de la forge. Il n'y a que des vieux. Bonjour, c'est mon apprenti, Hajime. Il s'occupe des commandes, faites-lui part de ce que vous souhaitez. De la forge. La forge d'Amenoma est l'endroit où les disciples de l'école Amenoma forgent, fondent et vendent des armes. Il y a autre chose? À propos de l'école. Certains des forgerons d'Inazuma parlent des Raiden Gokaden. On raconte que dans les temps anciens, un certain Ronin avait enseigné l'art de la forge à 5 de ses disciples. Chacune de ces 5 techniques avait un secret. L'école Amenoma en fait partie. Des épées d'Inazuma. Oh, vous avez entendu parler des épées d'Inazuma, vous semblez être un expert en la matière. Les artisans d'Inazuma utilisent un matériau spécial appelé Tamahagan, produit à Tarazuna, pour forger des armes plus résistantes et plus tranchantes, qui fait des armes inazumiennes les meilleures au monde. Évidemment, l'école Amenoma avait hérité des techniques de forge des armes Tamahagan. Nous sommes déterminés à préserver ressentir la force de la signe. Persévérer, pardon. Putain, je sais plus lire. Les armes froides ne sont pas exactement les mêmes que celles de Liu. C'est un cadeau. Oui, le cadeau. Oui, les matériaux et les méthodes utilisées pour forger les armes ne sont pas les mêmes. Donc les armes qui en résultent seraient également d'un style différent. J'ai entendu dire que le dieu de Liu, qui s'appelle Souverain de la Roche, était doué pour la forge d'armes. Auparavant, j'étais curieux de savoir à quoi ressemblaient les lames fabriquées à Liu. Il y a quelque temps, j'ai demandé à quelqu'un de la flotte du Crux de m'apporter une arme fabriquée à Liu. J'ai beaucoup appris en travaillant sur cette arme. Maintenant, je saisis les techniques qui ont été utilisées pour forger cette arme. Parce que tu connais bien Liu, je vais t'offrir cette arme. Oh, tout affilé. Je suis désolé, mais j'ai beaucoup de choses à faire. Alors je vais devoir m'occuper de vous pendant que je travaille. Il faut acheter une arme ou commander une forge. Toutes ces armes ont été approuvées par le maître. Je vais dire un coup d'œil. Que de la merde. J'aimerais bien. Hein. C'est toujours un peu de la chaise. Patronne du restaurant. Bonjour, bienvenue au restaurant Kiminami, l'endroit idéal pour découvrir la gastronomie d'Inazuma. Où est-ce que nous sommes? Vous êtes au restaurant Kiminami, connard. Je suis Kiminami Anna, la future propriétaire. Notre restaurant propose de... Depuis la disparition de mon père, nous sommes un peu à court de personnel. Donc vous devez en attendre un peu si vous souhaitez manger sur place. Proposons de limonade. Il devait être un peu en RTT, hein, les mecs de la VF. Hein. Enfin, de la VF, de la trad, hein, parce que le jeu et proposons de limonade. Pot de votre père. Tout a commencé un jour, il y a longtemps. Mon père, qui était un amateur de cuisine, est arrivé à Inazuma. Il a été si impressionné par la cuisine locale qu'il s'est porté volontaire pour être commis de ce restaurant. Plus tard, mon père a rejoint la famille Kimina. Et lorsque mon grand-père a été nommé chef cuisinier du shogunat, lui et ma mère ont continué à gérer le restaurant Kimina. Sans. J'ai appris à cuisiner avec eux depuis mon enfance. Et j'étais censé hériter du restaurant Kiminami à leur retraite. Mais mon père a soudainement disparu l'année dernière. Pour aider ma mère, j'ai commencé à cuisiner au restaurant. J'ai beaucoup appris, mais je ne suis pas encore assez bonne cuisinière que mon grand-père. Je vais devoir m'améliorer si je veux hériter du restaurant. Si vous avez des suggestions après avoir mangé nos plats, n'hésitez pas à m'en faire part. Les suggestions, principalement sur les sous-titres. Détective. LOG. Vous avez besoin de moi pour enquêter, dites-le. De la mission. Discutez plutôt de ce sujet avec la directrice. Je m'occupe de la collecte d'informations. J'irai où elle me dira d'aller. Appelez-moi Takeo. Reiji. Non, appelez-moi Reiji. J'aurais préféré Takeo. Bien que Takeo soit mon prénom, la directrice trouve qu'il n'est pas assez effrayant. Alors elle insiste pour m'appeler Reiji. Ça me dérange, mais je plie à ce qu'elle dit. Et le cadeau. Tu es occupé? Tu as probablement parlé, entendu de la... Tu as entendu. On va la refaire. Deuxième prise. Tu as probablement entendu parler de la situation actuelle d'Inazuma. Même le Mangalo, pas totalement fiable. Si Sanko utilise sa sagesse pour résoudre les problèmes, alors ma responsabilité est de la soutenir en utilisant mes capacités physiques. En bref, nous vivons dans un monde en constante évolution. Nous devons résoudre des problèmes un par un. Ah ouais, carrément. Bigneux du genre. Moi je crois. T'inquiète. Iratani. Comment contacter ces deux auteurs maintenant? Contacter qui? Ah, voyageur, c'est vous. J'avais justement besoin de l'aide de quelqu'un. Voici le problème. Le concours annuel d'écriture de romans de la chambre Yai va bientôt commencer. Comme d'habitude, nous prévoyons d'inviter quelqu'un-un de nos écrivains à faire partie du jury. Ok. Nous avons deux écrivains qui ne sont ni Inazuma, ni résidant actuellement à Inazuma. Comme vous le savez maintenant, nous ne pouvons pas inviter des étrangers ici. Mais si nous omettons d'informer les écrivains de ce problème, ce serait également inapproprié. J'ai donc pensé que si quelqu'un pouvait au moins leur envoyer un cadeau, ce serait au moins courtois. Et nous pourrions également joindre une lettre discutant des futurs manuscrits. Qu'en pensez-vous? Comme si c'était fait. Merci. Je vous laisse faire alors, voyageurs. Bien, madame. Le roman de Shang le 9e, connu sous le nom de Le premier disciple du clan Guda, raconte l'histoire entre le premier disciple d'une célèbre école d'arts martiaux à Liu et d'une jeune fille d'Inazuma. Si vous me... La vie, les thèmes et l'intrigue sont un peu dépassés, mais beaucoup de lecteurs continuent d'acheter et le volume de vente reste élevé. Souvent aux gens de lui envoyer des lettres pour lui suggérer certaines modifications qu'il pourra apporter à ses futurs travaux afin de peut-être faire une percée. Nous n'avons jamais reçu de réponse. Peut-être que les lettres se sont perdues en route ou les idiots. Je n'en ai aucune idée. C'est probablement un nom de plume de cet écrivain. Est-ce l'auteur d'une légende d'épée? Ce livre a fait sensation. Dans le contexte que l'histoire ont choqué le monde littéraire. Bien, puis-je trouver cet écrivain-là? Je crois que cet écrivain habite aussi à Liu. Selon un marchand ambulant qui a ramené ce livre à Inazuma, il a d'abord trouvé ce texte à la librairie Wanwen. Je pense que si vous demandez au personnel de la librairie Wanwen, vous devriez pouvoir trouver cet auteur. Librairie Wanwen. Cependant, bon, peu importe pour l'instant. Voici les cadeaux et les lettres. Je compte sur vous. Compte sur vous. Non, mais toujours, mais on n'a pas le temps. Bonjour à toi aussi. D'affichage. Vol pleine nuit, la piraterie et la falsification de documents sont fréquents à Inazuma ces derniers temps. Trafic, fuite, provocation, corruption, liberté de circulation, forcé, stagnation, tromperie, ce qui est des mensonges. Tout annuaire de graffiti sera sévèrement puni par Takuyaki Kujo, la commission administrative. La commission administrative. Là, ça. Fontaine. Je suis désolé, mais là, il y a un coffre. Et voilà. Ah, on les connaît, hein. On les connaît, les petits coffres planqués par-ci par-là. Tiens. Petite épée. Encore une quête. C'est très joli. Très très joli. Ah bah voilà, Catherine. Vers les étoiles et au-delà, bienvenue à la guilde des aventuriers. Finalement. Putain, Trad, s'il vous plaît. Finalement que vous êtes là, je vous ai attendu depuis longtemps, aventurier. Finalement que vous êtes là, hein. Bref. Une autre Catherine. Une autre. Quand vous avez vu Quand avez-vous vu beaucoup de Catherine en même temps? C'était toujours moi. En tant que seul réceptionniste qui travaille toute l'année dans la guilde des aventuriers. aventurier, je peux utiliser un outil spécial pour me téléporter entre divers endroits du monde, afin de s'occuper de diverses affaires importantes. Après avoir aidé dans vos affaires ici, je dois me rendre à Fontaine. Les aventuriers là-bas sont réputés pour leur frugalité. Je dois donc bien les accueillir. Ah, j'ai hâte de voir Fontaine. Ça va être fou. Je suis sur la France, mais tant pis. Si je veux me téléporter. Vous m'avez cru. Désolé, c'était juste une blague. Ne prenez pas au sérieux. Aussi, je pensais que vous saviez comment utiliser les points de téléportation. Bon, je ne vais pas vous ennuyer avec des futilités inutiles. Venez, je vais vous aider à remplir les procédures dont a besoin la guilde des aventuriers d'Inazuma. Une fois que c'est fini, vous pouvez accepter des missions ici et bénéficier d'autres avantages. Vers les étoiles et au-delà, aventurier. Avec.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Eh ben. Ok, d'accord. Aventurier. Restaurant. Raffiné. Au revoir. J'ai raté le... Non. C'est où, salon de thé? Ah d'accord, c'est là.
According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation, judging by your attire.
Are our clothes really so... what Paimon means to say is...
Voici notre lettre d'invitation.
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it.
It's been quite some time since I've seen anyone show up with a new invitation letter. I wish you two luck.
Merci madame.
Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form?
Oui. Alors vous êtes un chien? Oui, le Thomas à l'apparence humaine. Vous êtes un chien?
Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Ça va être bizarre. Je sais reconnaître un chien quand j'en vois un. Ça va être bizarre.
Alright. I've had my fun.
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister.
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier, though it was quite necessary. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's just gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies.
Alors, est-ce qu'on va passer votre test? Courage à affronter la foudre.
Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you? Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck...
Vous voulez dire l'ami de Kazuha? Oui, la fameuse histoire du mec tué devant le trône.
Ah, so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly.
Est-ce qu'on va pouvoir rencontrer la Shirazaki Megijimi?
Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Faire du tourisme. C'est le patron. Ouaf. Tu me comprends? Ouaf. Avez-vous déjà rencontré une personne qui sont comme moi, puis signer un contrat avec vous pour travailler ici? Quoi? Voilà.
No time to lose.
C'est beau, hein. On va la refaire, mais loin, mais c'est beau, quoi. Oh. À moi. Ah tiens. Qu'est-ce que vous vendez? Bonjour, vous jetez un œil. Si vous ne trouvez pas de produit qui vous plaît, je peux toujours vous en faire un sur mesure. Ouais, super. Attends, restocker vivre. What? D'accord. Je suis fait refouler par le vendeur. Ouais. Super ambiance. Pour une statue en cours de construction, elle est quand même vachement achevée.
No
Hein.
time to lose.
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often, do they? Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt degree are put into this statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree.
Bah oui. Pourquoi la Shogun a-t-elle ordonné un décret de saisie?
Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt Decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryo Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, oh, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Putain, j'en ai encore trop pris. C'est quoi ce son?
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Faire entendre le son des espoirs de ces gens.
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined.
Alors un œil divin est un symbole d'ambition et de pouvoir.
Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
Il y a des problèmes la dame quand même. Un petit peu extrême sur les bords. Hein. Ouais, putain, ils ont des yeux divins. Enfin, des yeux, pardon. Quelle intimité. Il y a une quête là. On va prendre le TP qui est là. Je peux aller visiter le château. Mais... visiter le château... Oui, j'ai le droit. Tiens. Ah oui, d'accord. Oh bah je visite, hein. C'est beau. C'est très... joli graphiquement. Et ainsi. Je suis pas très animé.
No time to lose.
Le dernier animé que j'ai vu, c'est Castlevania de Netflix. Excellent. Excellent Castlevania. 4 saisons. Fantastique. Tu peux rentrer? Non. Et c'est l'accès à cet endroit. C'est 7. Non. Bon, l'accès à cet endroit est restreint. Pas d'entrée sans permission. Non. Et vous êtes qui? Vous êtes qui pour me dire ça? Je suis membre de l'eau. Oh putain, je vais pas le dire souvent celui-là. L'eau, doux, mais chou. Je ne fais que suivre les ordres directs de la Shogun tout-puissant. Ah putain, Fontaine, ça sera mieux. Ça sera des Bernard, des Jean-Marc. Des noms bien franchouillards. Beaucoup chou, mais chou. En gros, nous sommes les gardes du corps de la Shogun. Notre but est de garantir que la Shogun dispose d'hommes de confiance à ses côtés et à qui elle peut faire appel sans condition quand elle le souhaite. Donc s'il y a chose importante chez nous, bien loyauté. Donc s'il y a une chose importante chez nous, si, c'est bien la loyauté. Bon. Eh ben, écoutez, on va y aller en plein. De la muraille. Et hop. Oh, le chat. Ah. Merci le chat.
No time to lose. Yep. Yeah.
va passer par là. Je m'amuse à ruiner les musiques. On chante par-dessus.
I could get used to this.
Donc ouais, le dernier c'était Castlevania et c'est pas enfin, c'est un dessin animé, série animée. C'était enfin Star Wars Rebelle.
No time to lose.
Très sympa, un peu réaliste, on va dire. Et sympa.
Ta.
Voilà, on va couper par là. Là-bas il y a un coffre, une énigme, un truc où il faut passer le pilier. Là-bas il y a un coffre aussi. Et là il y a... je sais pas trop quoi. J'ai pas le temps. On reviendra vers vous plus tard. Tu sens ta chouette qui est bleue là? Moi je le sens. Quelle angoisse. Non!
Yeah.
Oh là là! Pourquoi je suis allé me perdre ici? Ah, je vais me faire bolos en plus à tous les coups. Putain, la musique qui s'emballe pour de l'escalade. Ah, c'est bon. Ah! Belle ambiance. Panorama. En effet. Donc ça c'est quoi ça? Oui, un petit machin. Ok, ok.
No time to lose.
Je le suis, hein. Oui. Il y a un coffre. Ok. Alors ça, la racine électro, je... C'est que ça... Faut que je tape? Ah, c'est où? Il est où? Il est où le petit blaireau? Non! J'ai perdu petit blaireau. Chier.
Fortune preserver.
Yeah. Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
La fou, tu m'as fait perdre le petit blaireau, je vais... On s'attaque. Voilà. Ça prendra. Pour le petit blaireau. Mais vous allez crever, oui. Et voilà. J'ai perdu petit blaireau. Ah. Blaireau. Ah, j'ai pas eu. continue la route, c'est pas grave. Oh, ça je... Ah, petit blaireau. Ah, petit blaireau. Petit blaireau. Alors, c'est pas gentil de taper dans... Blaireau. Petit blaireau. Reviens, petit blaireau. Non.
This world is full of.
Petit blaireau. C'est tout. C'est vraiment tout. Je m'attendais à rien, pourtant je suis déçu. Comme je faisais une audience avec le ministère. Veuillez parler à madame. Quoi de la commission? Des avec le ministère dire sa affaire de la commission culturelle. À quel point il est encore un danger. Oui. Mais bon. Et il va être au-dessus. Il va être en dessous. Ah, la répute.
There are still documents that need to be seen by the commissioner.
Bonjour. La commission culturelle. À vous. Je mets pas d'Aram. Oui, bon, match. Un conseil au service de la commission culturelle. C'est très occupé en ce moment. Et donc vous adressez à moi si ce n'est pas quelque chose d'urgent. N'hésitez pas à demander de l'aide si vous avez besoin de quoi que ce soit. C'est un respect respecté du clan Kamisato. Et je ferai tout mon possible pour vous aider. Cool. Et moi tout. Merde, putain, j'ai recliqué sur la même chose. Hein. La triple commission, la commission culturelle est différente des deux autres commissions. Elle est responsable des affaires culturelles à Inazuma, comme les offrandes au sanctuaire, les affaires cérémoniales, la publication de livres, etc. C'est pour cette raison que nous entendons les différents souhaits des habitants d'Inazuma. Manuela Kamisato est une personne très gentille. Elle a persuadé le commissaire d'allouer des fonds et des ressources pour aider à réaliser les souhaits des gens. Pas comme ces requêtes, mais comme ces requêtes couvrent tous les aspects de la vie à Inazuma, il arrive forcément des moments où nous manquons de bras quand elles sont nombreuses. D'ailleurs, si ça vous intéresse de nous aider, vous serez rémunéré en conséquence. Oui, de l'argent. Vous aurez plus d'expérience et une meilleure réputation, vous recevrez des missions plus importantes et mieux rémunérées. Ouais, let's go. Encore. On va parler au monsieur. Notre commission.
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Bah, elle est désagréable. Ah, difficile de rivaliser avec la chambre de Jade.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Je pense que je comprends.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can...
Je suis ici pour rencontrer la Shogun Raiden. Je suis pas là pour lancer une rébellion.
Oh,
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
Bon, je vais partir à présent.
no, please! Wait! Please, don't go!
Est-il?
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here.
Je respecterai votre volonté.
Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Bah oui.
Miss Kamisato's left, it seems. No cutting corners now, okay?
Bah oui, non mais... Ah, c'est facile ça. Oh, c'est plutôt cossu ici. C'est alpin ici. Petit kimono.
No time to lose.
Faudrait que je les lise un jour les livres. Je sais pas si ça vaut le coup. Je ne sais pas trop. Bon alors, toi tu me donnes des... Non? La même chose. Hein. Bah. Donc là j'ai... Et là, d'accord. J'aimerais bien aller voir le cerisier quand même. Bon.
Perfect weather for fishing.
Hop là.
Let's see. Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Let's go! Alors, pourquoi ce changement?
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do, but equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here.
Eh ben. Et Maïrou, qu'est-ce qu'elle me dit, Maïrou?
Ah, you must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay.
Qu'est-ce qui se passait?
Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place, and we all think the world of him. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
Oh, mais non, mamie, c'est pas votre faute. On va parler au Tejima. Tejima.
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a
Elle dit
sudden?
pareil que moi.
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay.
Tout le monde compte sur vous.
True, but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either way.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back?
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
Ouais, violons sa vie privée. Les indices. Ah, ça serait genre le journal qui laisse traîner au milieu du balcon. Oui.
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait, there's more!
Ah.
I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine.
C'est-à-dire Ah, le sanctuaire juste ici. Pas loin. Examinez les traces.
So the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy?
Trouvez des indices grâce à votre vue élémentaire. La vue. Ah, regardez.
Here we are. This seems to be somewhere that Tejima visited a lot. The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village all these years? Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look.
C'est un cadavre. Oui.
It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must have been written a really long time ago. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again?
Si nous sommes séparés dans cette guerre, attendez-moi au village de Kanda. Il doit y avoir un foyer pour... Ici.
So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Voir, mais... Il va pas se rappeler, il se rappelle de rien, le pauvre. Oh là là, on va le faire souffrir. Allez.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared.
Le mec en rajoute une couche. Ça la rend-il triste?
No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream.
Alors, vous prévoyez toujours de partir?
I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her?
Ça risque.
When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness, the feeling that something is missing. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad.
Bah, c'est un peu badant, oui. Sûr. Mais moi
Seems
aussi.
it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person.
Mais Paimon, il est en face de toi. C'est horrible à dire.
According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
C'est horrible de dire ça. Il est en face. Attends, je vais changer.
Let's finish this. Swift.
Let's finish it. TP. Donc lui c'est le samouraï. Ah. Il était pas en quête.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma, the ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Provision d'urgence. Par exemple des nourritures.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
Oui. Pourquoi lui défoncer la gueule? Ça? C'est pas? Allez, vous deux.
A person without a conscience is a person without honor.
C'est beau. Oula. Putain, il a tout compliqué, hein.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to.
On a appris que vous aviez perdu votre divin récemment.
And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun. And that's why they confiscated my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Oui, on va taper du connard. Taper les connards. Et les gamins. Mais les gamins plus tard. Putain, les gamins. Alors. Qui que v'là.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides that one house.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history.
You demand, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
Let's fight.
Life goes on.
Adieu.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you.
Oubliez ça, dites-nous plutôt ce que vous avez sur Kurosawa. Coup de chance, il paraît que vous avez vandalisé. Plutôt loin.
Kurosawa? Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs.
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of Mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes, of course.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Faites-lui, hein. Et alors, toutes tes cases, hein. Garçon. Alors, petite épée, hein. Épée. On se regarde. Épicerie. Ah ouais.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about?
Putain, son nom de boutique. Bravo de cette reconnaissance de dette.
So you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, whoa! Let's get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense. And no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained and held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself?
Elle n'en souvient pas.
I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think. 2,000 mora should be a fair price.
J'aurais dû tout améliorer pour plus avoir de morage.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a priceless sword in his possession. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything.
Bon. On va parler au monsieur. Et puis, la troisième personne, ça sera pour la prochaine fois. Je sais pas ce que c'est que les petites volutes de... Je vais aller voir.
No time to lose.
Allez.
What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those other two go?
Ils sont morts.
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything I said was true, right?
Bien.
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions. but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up catching me in the act and scolded me severely. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands and said to me, "With this sword, you should..."
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Et vertu et justice.
And justice?
Justice.
Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition after all. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. And look how things ended up. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to understand me. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
C'est vrai que c'est sympa, mais c'est un peu badant leur histoire de retrait d'œil divin. Mais c'est sympa. L'idée est sympa. Ah, la troisième personne est juste à côté, mais bon. On ira voir la troisième personne la prochaine fois.